Hey, real quick, just for the new guys, I wanted to just make it clear because I had somebody comment that they're not so much into day trades, they're more into swing trades. If you check out one of the paid versions of of the monthly readings, guys, you'll find like at the end of the June Sol reading, if you of the paid version, we go over the 10-year. Right, best trades on a multi-year scale. We go over the 1 year, best trades on like a 1 year kind of scale, multi-month kind of trade, and then we get into the best trades on a 1 month kind of scale. So that's there's a lot going on there, guys. Don't miss out. Check out the paid version if you use Sol 1 month regularly. You really should. It's the right thing to do. Thanks to all of you that go ahead and do that, my friends, and you do that here at our services, Meta Forecasts, monthly predictions. Click here to order, and you go down to Sol, subscribe. Thank you very much, my friends. Here's the prediction. This is the Sol 1 month overview reading for the month of June 2023. It's currently May 5th, 2023, 8:46 p.m. Eastern Time. Sol at the time of this reading is currently $23.22. That's Solana, by the way. And the shuffle file that we're about to watch was created on April 12th, 2023 at 10:50 p.m. That's the June shuffle file right here. So the overall theme and behavior for the month is actually pretty interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen this combo together, but they're opposite cards. The theme card is a decline, a notable decline on a year-to-date scale, offering an opportunity to open up a long position. It's crossed with a notable rally, at least one notable rally standing out on a 1 month chart, offering an opportunity to close a long position or to open a short position, protect against a decline, that sort of thing. The behavior around the highest high, we have a Queen of Cups. So in a lot of cases, what that indicates on a monthly is that there's two highs and there's like a channel that we're in. Usually it's a horizontal resistance and support. Sometimes it's at a downward angle, but usually it's from resistance. You decline down to support, do a reversal, go all the way back to resistance, do another reversal, go all the way back to support, and you make like a sideways S formation. So it looks like the first high is here on the first. The highs and the lows aren't too far away from each other either, apparently, in time. In time. And then it looks like behavior around the low. There's notable opportunity to cash in on, I guess, a short position here. It'll stand out. When we look at the 1 year, the June cluster on the 1 year, what we're seeing is a decline early on. This is a cross-reading correlation here. This decline early in the month opportunity to open up a long position. There's a prominent high and a prominent low within close time proximity to each other here for Solana. And that's also, you can see that's another cross-reading congruency. We have a highs and lows within close time proximity to each other here as well. Yeah, let's take a look at the 1 year, see how we're doing there so far. So it looks like we were a little off on the lowest low. We have a lowest low first thing in the year. But I mean, sometimes that happens because it's sort of like irrelevant. It's so early in the year. The rest of the reading becomes, there's a more relevant low. And it looks like that low is actually takes place here in March. Pretty prominent low, and you see we have a prominent low here, a lowest low here in March. So it's a little off as far as being the lowest low, but it's still the most significant low other than this early first thing in the year low. With that said, we should see April. This was a prominent crest or peak that stood out, the Ace of Swords. We should see a failed attempt to break through key resistance there in May, and multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance in May, with a brief peak that's easily missed, followed by a sharp decline there in late May, and then that decline continues into, appears to continue into June. Yeah, there's definitely some back and forth going on in June because the tower card indicates that there's a peak on a 1 year chart that would stand out, a peak that we sell off from pretty notably on a 1 year chart standing out. And that's after a decline. So there's a down, up, down kind of formation. or a sideways S formation. So this is looking pretty solid so far. This reading's getting really strong. On the first, we have what appears to be a highest high there. There's a move higher through key resistance. We stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through the same price level. And it looks like it's probably a new local high, so maybe higher than any of the crests that we just saw at the end of May, possibly. But it's a highest high for June. And there's a pretty notable decline once we come down the other side of that poke through resistance. We come back down, break down through it. We continue going deeper into a prominent trough or low on the second. Matter of fact, it looks like a prominent trough or low on the second or on the third or both. But towards the end of the day on the third, we have a crest that we sell off from. So there's a pretty notable move to the upside to a peak or crest there at the end of the day, and then we sell pretty notably off of that into the fourth. There's a fast sudden move higher on the fifth, ending that period of decline that took place on the fourth. Fast sudden move higher, reaching for distant resistance on the fifth. Probably towards the end of the day. And then on the 6th, there's a move higher. We successfully turn resistance into new support somewhere around the cusp of the 6th, 7th. And then there's a pretty big decline on the 7th, taking us to what might be a lowest low there. One of these two locations is probably a lowest low. Here on the 7th or the 10th, it's kind of hard to determine, but one of these two locations, maybe both of them, I think are probably a lowest low. On the 8th, there's an important resistance level highlighted, and that's on a multi-day kind of scale. On the 9th, an unexpected move to the upside. With an important price level on a 1-month scale highlighted. It does look like at the end, on the cusp of the 9th, 10th, we see it's probably another lowest low, but it'll be an important trough that stands out in a period of sideways rotation that takes place on the 10th, with a sharp drop in that period of sideways rotation. There's a bit of a retracement to the upside somewhere between, like, early on the 11th, because we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance that we expect to break through, followed by a decline through key support on the 11th. And then on the 12th, we establish support. There's a big move higher standing out on a multi-day chart, followed by another establishment of support at a higher level. It looks like there's a peak or crest there that'll stand out at the end of the day on the 12th, followed by a sharp decline on the 13th, taking us to a trough either at the end of the day on the 13th or possibly even lower on the cusp of the 13th, 14th. But there's a near overbought peak or crest that we sell off from on the 14th. Decline continues with momentum increasing as we move forward into the 15th. As we move forward through the 15th. On the 16th, there's an important reversal. It looks like probably a reversal changing course to the upside. On the 17th, we push the upper end of a range higher. It's hard to determine if this could be another. I'm gonna make this like a 25% because it's like it's possible but less likely to be a highest high. In any case, we hit the upper end of a range there. Is it the upper end of a range or lower end of a range? Let's see. On the 18th. It looks like it might be, we're bound actually at the bottom of the range, bottom of a range and the top of a range. We're kind of like bound there on the 18th. We should see a pretty big move, going from like a peak or crest on the cusp of the 18th, 19th to a trough on the cusp of the 18th, 19th, or the other way around. But there's a pretty big move there. And we, on the 19th, there's a move higher. We stay above it. We move higher, and then there's a full retracement of that move on the 19th. So it makes like a triangular kind of shape. That when we come back the other side of that triangle to the downside, we decline into the 20th. But out of that decline, there's a big move from the bottom of a range to the top of a range that's on a multi-day kind of scale, taking us to a peak or crest on the cusp of the 20th, 21st. It looks like we declined pretty notably off of that peak or crest on the cusp of the 20th, 21st. In the morning of the 21st, really, we declined pretty notably. Revisit a support level that was recently a past opportunity. We don't stay there long, however. There's another move, a big move to the upside there about midday, taking us to what's most likely that same upper end of a range, the highest high that we had along, like that we saw on the first. It's most likely the same price level. And then there's the halting of a bullish trend on the 22nd, marked by a sharp decline through key support. Oh my, I'm leaving out, there's a ton of trade opportunities, guys, which we'll get into in the paid version. If you're interested in the paid version, the way that you get the paid version is a really great way to support the channel. And check out this review. You were good, brother. Hit the prediction. Stocks, crypto, everything fell last night. We're adding reviews, like nice reviews, to the website. But in any case, the best way to support one of the best ways to support the channel is to go to Estimate Forecast here, monthly predictions, and subscribe to the paid version of the soul reading. You do so here, right? And that's if you use the soul reading regularly, it's the right thing to do anyways. But it's a great way to support the channel. We definitely remember everybody that goes ahead and does that. Thank you very much to all of you that support the channel like that. On the 23rd, there's a lot of price change on the 23rd, and an important resistance level on a multi-day scale that's highlighted towards the end of the day on the 23rd. There might even be a day trade opportunity there, but there's a lot of opportunity to position oneself in both directions. I'll get into that in the paid version if it seems like a good idea. And then on the 24th, there's a U-shaped dip that forms near the intersection of two perpendicular diagonal trend lines. It's like a peak on both cusps of the 24th. So like the 23rd, 24th cusp peak, U-shaped dip, and then another peak on the cusp of the 24th, 25th. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. And then it looks like there's the halting or the completion of a bullish trend there on the 25th, and a notable decline taking us to what may be a lowest low there, or the lowest low may be more out towards the 28th possibly. But there's a prominent trough there, and then out of near oversold territory, we have a big move to the upside, either at the end of the day on the 25th out of that prominent trough, or more so on the 26th. We move pretty high. On the 27th, we attempt to establish support, it looks like, to the upside, followed by a decline on the 28th that really stands out and is one of the more significant trade opportunities I'll talk about in the paid version. On the 29th, there's a crest that's forms towards the end of the day, and we decline off of that crest or peak down to and through support. We do a U-shaped reversal below support, come back and reuse it as support, and then there's a resistance level on the 30th that we come up against, that we've come up against multiple times before, and we decline to another prominent trough for the month on the 30th. Sneak preview for the following month of July is a significant breakout on a multi-day kind of scale, on maybe a year-to-date kind of scale. Significant breakout to the upside there for July. Thanks so much for watching, my friends. That's Sol for June. If you want to see more Sol, guys, get active, subscribe. We'll continue to do monthlies for Sol. If nobody subscribes, then after a little bit, we'll move on to something else, or replace Sol with something else. That's kind of how we do. So if you want to see more Sol, make sure to subscribe. And as always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. It's the whole purpose of the channel. You do so here at the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, where we ask that you donate 5% of the profits forward to one of these charities that keeps the flow of abundance flowing through the universe, through the multiverse, I should say. And then we ask that 5% of the profits be donated back to the channel here at Cashapp and PayPal. That leaves you with 90% of the profits you make off this information. Make sure to spend that money out of love. As long as you follow this rule of karma, the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold from all directions, my friends. And with that said, thank you so much. Blessings. I'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned if you got the paid version.